Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we are going to see Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management Manufacturing Overview session. This particular session is particularly designed for the participants who are already using D365 Finance and Operations and who has basic knowledge about supply chain management processes, and who knows basic navigation of D365. I am the host from Anchor Dynamics. This particular course is just to enhance your knowledge related to Dynamic 365 functionalities, features. Okay, about this course. So we are not going to understand the course in this particular session. We are going to understand the core of D365 supply chain management manufacturing. So you would have thought of people who are already working in Dynamics and they are very good with supply chain management module, but they are weak with manufacturing and they want to expand their knowledge in manufacturing domain. So this course or this particular session is particularly for those participants. I would welcome a newcomer who has already worked in domain and who want to make career as a consultant in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation ERP. So you can, for additional materials, you can also refer Microsoft Learn and Microsoft Docs, okay, learning path, which will help you to understand each and every concept in detail. So just for your knowledge, this is a overview session. So we will gain some basic knowledge about D365 and manufacturing processes, how industry uh, works. Let's go to our next slide. So in today's course, we will cover how to identify the industry criteria. Means a lot of consultants who are new are struggling to understand where to start, how to identify an industry, what solution to be pitched. So these are really critical areas. Why? Because if you start a path, you need to continue on the same path. But if you want to change that particular path from what you have started, it is a really difficult course and it also put you down in front of your customers. Okay, so better before you start analyzing or start the solutioning part, you focus on what type of industry that particular is. Also, you should know some concepts like what is the supply chain flow of that particular industry. You should also know basic concepts of manufacturing methodology so that you can guide your clients. You should also know the manufacturing principles, linkage of production module with other modules, configuration technologies, what is there in D365 and what D365 supports effectively. We will also go on, we will just touch base upon master planning and planning optimization overview. Okay. In continuation to that, we will understand what is scheduling, key concepts of discrete and process manufacturing. Yeah, this is really important for those who get confused between discrete and process manufacturing processes. We will also go what are the different setups or what different module core setups are required to be configured so that your production module works and your manufacturing processes are effectively carried out. Okay. We will also touch base upon how D365 supports lean manufacturing. So with this, we start our course for the day, industry identification. So before a consultant pitches a solution, you should understand what type of industry it is. Like, is it a item, that is a product, a client sells a product, or a service? So the difference between product and service can be explained differently, but I will just give you a simple example that a product is a tangible thing which you can touch and feel, which need to be manufactured, whereas a service is an offering which can only be experienced by a client, like your Uber service, your tools and travel service. So these are all services which need to be experienced. So whatever industry you are working with, you should understand what type of item it sells, whether a product or a service. Secondly, most important thing is their supply chain flow. So you must be a very much thorough how the supply chain flow happens. This is applicable only for products, that is tangible products I'm talking about. For service item, there is no flow. Okay. So everything, whatever we will discuss today is related to manufacturing. Whatever item which can be manufactured, those items fall under products. And for those, each and every industry has its own supply chain flow. We'll understand this in depth in our next slides, upcoming slides. Manufacturing methodologies, manufacturing principles, warehouse structure, inventory tracking, stocking and valuations, distribution and logistics. So all these criteria contribute to identify the flow, identify and understand the business, how it runs, and what type of strategies are followed by an industry to sell their product in the market. And all those strategies and scenarios you need to capture as a consultant and also implement, or you can say configure it for your client. So these are some of the basic things which you should know. We will go in depth in each and every topic. Let's start with supply chain flow. The ideal supply chain flow starts with raw material purchasing. Okay, so you talk to your vendors, and then your vendors share their quotations and all that stuff. Then you receive that particular material, then you store it into your warehouses. So the warehousing comes into plan. Then whatever requirement is there of your client, you book the sales orders, and then you run the master planning, and your master plan engine suggests you whether you have the sufficient inventory to suffice the requirement or you need to produce. So here comes the production order. So this is the point which we want to emphasize more on as a part of manufacturing. As a part of supply chain flow, we will see how for production, what setups or what important aspects we need to remember before configuring or before diving it in D365 setups and parameters. Okay. Remaining supply chain flow steps are production assembly, quality inspection, then you deliver the goods to the customer, and then your service starts. But we will focus more on production. So what are the different phases of production? So production in itself is a individual chapter for you. So in order to become a manufacturing consultant, you must know all these basics. So first, production order is created. How it is created, it's not important. Whether it is created through master planning, whether it is manually created, whether it is cleared from sales order, whether it is created from projects. But your manufacturing starts once production order is created. So at this stage, what you do, once your production order is created, you estimate for raw material. So estimation process is the step where your bill of material, okay, bill of material is a list of items which are required to assemble and produce the final FG. Okay, so when you run the estimation on the production order, system analyzes what is required and what is available on hand, and it compares both the data and finally suggests you whether you need material for which purchase orders should be created, or you can directly consume as is whatever is available on hand. Next phase is schedule. So once you have all your raw material, you need to do some operations or some processing so that your raw material gets converted into your FG. So these operations, okay, are sequenced in a row so that operations can be carried out. So this sequencing is called a route. So what scheduling does is when you click on the schedule and schedule your order, system arrange those sequence of operations on the dates, and it suggests you that from which hour, which date this particular operation will be started, and at which hour and which date this operation will be ended. So this is scheduled by the system when you click on the scheduling of the production order, and it also reflects on the Gantt chart, which is a out of the box functionality of D365 Finance and Operation. Once the scheduling process is done, okay, once you have all the material, once you have all the resource to schedule, then you release that particular production order. Releasing phase, what it does, it is mostly used with advanced warehouse management. In normal production process, it does not have any impact. Okay, then the phase comes is start the production order. Starting a production order means you are now ready with all your material, and now I am ready to start manufacturing of that particular product. So in this status, you can pick up material, you can consume whatever man hours, machine hours you want. So once you start, then your picking list gets generated. Picking list is nothing but a list of bill of material which is available in stock, and it is a proof that you have consumed that. So at this stage, your inventory is consumed. Okay, and whatever man hours you want to do, so those man hours are consumed when you post a route card journal. And once all your material and your operations are complete, you are good to declare that your finished good is ready. So when you click on report as finished, okay, at this page, your physical inventory is ready. But the financial cost of that particular physical inventory is not updated in the system. Why? Because this report as finished can be reversed. So no one knows what is the final cost of that particular product. So what happens is when you end that particular production order, system at this phase updates the financial cost of that particular item. So this is the common flow of each and every industry. Some people might skip some steps like scheduling, like picking up the material or posting the route hours or blah 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 like that. So these are different phases. We can go in depth in our upcoming sessions on each and every topic. Let's see the second important topic, that is production order statuses. So at each and every phase, something happens and some rights are assigned to the users. So we can easily understand with this particular slide. You can see that when you create, there is no rights. Okay. The hash which you can see is you do not have any rights. When you estimate, okay, so your costing of the material is calculated and you can see a brief breakup of what material at what cost will be consumed, and all the raw material will get reserved at this stage. So this is the reservation, this is the system oriented action. So you still don't have any manual action which will impact your inventory, physical cost, financial cost. When you schedule, your route operation gets plotted on your Gantt chart. When you release, so this is for advanced warehousing. As I told you, it's a trigger for your production team that this particular production order is ready to start. And when you start, you are good to post the picking list and route card journals, which will consume your material, as I told you, as well as the route journal will consume your man hours. Okay. When you post the report as finished journal, you will see that your inventory is updated as well as simultaneously your physical cost is getting updated. And at this stage, if you deliver that particular product, that will go by your physical cost. Okay. But once you end the particular production order, that means that you are ending and you are updating the financial cost, and you cannot change anything in that particular production order. Even you cannot reverse that particular production order. So this is the different production order status and its importance, why, what happens at which status, when it gets changed. So this is a normal status. Let's go further. Let's understand manufacturing methodologies. Okay. So in ideally, there are three methodologies. First is discrete manufacturing, second is process manufacturing, and third is lean manufacturing. So depending on the business, you need to first categorize the industry whether it belongs to a discrete, process, or lean. Based on this differentiation, each and every path will be different to configure in D365, and it will really make a drastic difference to you and your business when you choose an incorrect manufacturing process or manufacturing methodology. So, it is very easy to identify what are what all items or products fall under discrete manufacturing. So items which you can dismantle and you can assemble. Okay. And when you disassemble, uh, you will find each and every product in its original state. This means that it is a discrete manufacturing product. Second, we'll go to process manufacturing. So in process manufacturing, if you see uh, uh, here, if you call that items or bill of material, here you will call it as ingredients. Okay, the name gets changed, nothing else. Bill of material name will get changed to formula. So rest everything, it is a list. But you will see one observation that in process industry, all items which are there, which you will be consuming to make the final product, if you dismantle it, okay, you will not get the components in its original form. Like if I mixed oil, egg and flour together, if I want to dismantle and I want that egg in its original status, I won't be able to achieve it. So such industries are called process manufacturing, and its bill of material is defined as formula. The third methodology which is there is lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is not different than discrete and process. It runs parallelly with discrete or process manufacturing. Why? Because lean manufacturing is not something different. It is a just way of doing your work. Okay. So in lean manufacturing, what you do, you follow some practices, some techniques which will reduce your wastage in the work, and it will improve your productivity, and it will be a cyclic flow. So wherever you see a very cyclic flow, wherever you see work cells are there and they are doing a repetitive work, okay, and you want to follow those Japanese techniques. So in that case, you can adopt discrete manufacturing with lean manufacturing, or process manufacturing with lean manufacturing, or all the three at the same time. Okay, there is no compulsion that only one manufacturing methodology must be used. Depending of the product, you need to use all the three methodologies. Okay, thank you. Let's go to our next slide. Understand unified manufacturing. What is unified manufacturing? Unified manufacturing means a combination of production orders, which is discrete, used for discrete manufacturing, batch orders, which is used for process manufacturing, Kanban rules, and project. So if you use a combination of all these three or four, or two, or individual, so this particular usage of orders in a single industry is called unified manufacturing. Good. Let's go to next slide. Manufacturing principles. Really important concepts. So in businesses, what happens is, what type of business is this? What configurations I should do for this particular type of business? So before you identify these business, you must understand what manufacturing principle these businesses follow. First is make to stock. So if you see, make to stock is a principle which is used for items which can be sold in any industry, any region, irrespective of the client requirement. Okay, so you have fixed product, and those products are available in different sizes, shapes, and you cannot change the dimension or alter it based on your client requirement, and you can make it and you can stock it, and whenever a person comes, he can order, he can purchase it hand to mouth, and this type of item is falls under make to stock industry. We will see some examples also. Yeah, engineer to order. This is something like shipbuilding. Like your client is engineering, your client is defining what I need, how I need. You can say a bungalow, an aeroplane, a flight, or something like that, which your client has some specific thought process in their mind, and they want that to be designed as is whatever their imagination. Assemble to order. Assemble to order means you have some ready items, okay, similar to make to stock, but what happens is you have some variants, that is a combination of different parts. Like if you say a shirt, it will fall under make to stock, okay, but a shirt with different colors, a single shirt which has different colors, like collar has different color, it arms have different color, it buttons have different color. So these components are same, but it has different colors, so people can choose that color, and these items fall under assemble to order or configure to order. One more example, if you say, you can say mobile phones. So if you go on Amazon, Flipkart, what you do, you do not go and directly select a iPhone. So you'll select an iPhone 13, and in iPhone 13 I want blue color. So you define that color. Then you define what type of memory you want. That is 256, 128 GB, or what camera megapixel you would like to have it. So dual SIM, single SIM. So these are some of the configurations you select on the site, and based on that, system suggests a model to you, and that model is configured and assembled based on your requirement. So these type of products fall under assemble to order. Make to order. Make to order, standard products are made make to order, and these have some different configurations, and whenever you get an order, you start manufacturing once you receive an order. It is a pull mechanism, you can say. You cannot make and stock that material because the components which are there are expensive. So same make to stock items are there, but as the components are expensive, you don't purchase those components. When you get an order, you purchase it, assemble it, and then deliver it. So it is same product like make to stock, but as the components are expensive, you don't have that material in hand. You will do a just in time supply chain process where you get the material based on your orders. All right, so you can see these are the different examples of make to stock. So you can see shirts of different colors, sizes, which are readily available in each and every shop. You just go and purchase it. So these type of uh, products does not require your advance intimation. You can go and have it anytime. Engineer to order. So this is a yacht, and this is a really sophisticated design for a particular requirement, or you can say an imagination of a person, and based on his imagination and approval, this has been assembled and designed. You can see assemble to order type of example, and in this if you check out that the cycle is same, only the color gets changed, seat color gets changed, wheel type might get changed, tire rubber material can get changed. So these are some of the options which you give to your client, whereas cycle remains intact as a product, but it varies based on the different color and shape and size combination available for that particular product. So you give that choice to your client so that he can select that choice and he can get it. So in make to stock, there is no choice. Whatever is available, you need to have it as is. Whereas in assemble to order, you have different choices of fixed list. Yeah, but obvious. So you need to select one of them, and based on that, system will create or suggest a variant, and it will be delivered to you. Make to order. Make to order means you can see these are special type of cake. Okay, this cannot be made and kept ready because each and every person require different add-in like this balls, jellies, choco chips or something like that. So based on his combination, he will whatever material is available, he will select that, and based on that order I will purchase, and the supply chain starts from that particular day the order comes, the day which order comes. Okay, so this is how the manufacturing principles are segregated, and based on this you will define which type of strategy or how the configuration will take place in T365. Let's go to next topic, relationship between customer requirement with delivery. Okay, based on the type of product or principle of the product, principle of manufacturing, you can decide what type of relationship that particular product holds between customer order or customer requirement date with the delivery timelines. Okay, so you can see that it has different sections like raw material, components which are already purchased, semi-finished and finished. So you can see if you go with make to stock type of item, you can purchase raw material, you can you can make use that particular components and assemble it and make a semi-finished goods, or even you can make a finished goods which is readily available to the customer. So make to order type, make to stock type of items will always be readily available to the customer. So the delivery time is zero, readily available. If you take assemble to order type of item, okay, you will see that you can purchase the raw material, you can keep the components ready in these sub-assembly forms. Uh, in order to make the semi-finished goods, it is very difficult because which combination a client would select that you don't know. So you know you will wait for an order, okay, and once you get that particular order, then you will assemble it. Okay, so once you get the configuration like iPhone, you will start assembling it and then you can deliver it. So delivery date will get delayed. So you can see it is 50%. Okay, here you can see 100% ready. The delivery is zero. Delivery time is zero. Here you can see the delivery time is 30 to 40%. Okay, once you get the order, then it will require 34 to 40% of the time, overall life cycle time, to manufacture, assemble it and deliver that particular product. But that's not the same case in case of make to order. So make to order does not have components. Okay. So what particular part I need to assemble, that particular data is not available. But yeah, you know that if you are working in furniture industry, you will need a ply, you will need favicol, you will need nails. So these are all the raw material which you know, but in which quantity, in which shape, which size, which color, you don't know all that stuff. So what in this case, you can take the risk of purchasing the raw material, okay, and stocking it, but you cannot cut that particular components, or you cannot start process on that particular raw material. So what happens is, once you get that particular order, based on that, you will cut the components, you will assemble the semi-finished goods, you'll make the finished goods, and then it will be delivered to your customer. So in this case, your delivery time takes around 60% of the time once the order is received. Engineer to order. So this is something unique, as you have seen the example that engineer to order is a yacht. So in this case, even you cannot purchase the raw material, only standard items which you know, you will keep and stock those items, like fasteners, or only C class items you can stock it out, which are common for all the industry or all the products which you are uh, selling. Or else engineer to order means your imagination, your client imagination, you are first drafting it down in terms of what do you say, drawing or design or 3D model. He will give approval on that 3D model, and once that 3D model is approved, and then you will start making or purchasing the raw material for that particular item. Then you will cut it into components, semi-finished, finished. So around 90% of your time is consumed in your delivery schedules. So based on this, your scheduling also impacts, your planning impacts, your inventory holding capacity impacts, your what do you say, your investment is also involved in this. So everything is defined. So the forecasting and the order, so you cannot forecast. So here there is very limited forecast options, more forecast option, the most forecast options you can forecast. There's more. Why? Because based on your previous year sales, you can predict that, yeah, in the next December, in the Christmas, you will be selling more shirts or more clothes or something like that. So these type of item defines how your forecast will behave. Okay, so accordingly you can configure your master planning, forecast, demand, everything. Let's understand the linkage of production module with other modules. So if you see, production is a part of full supply chain, or you can say Dynamic 365 ERP. So if you start with top, master planning is the brain which collects all the data and which controls each and every nervous system. Your general transactions are the nervous systems, because every transactions which you do, it has a proof called journals in D365. Your spine, you can relate it with your inventory management. Why? Because all your support system, based on which calculation happens, okay, is your inventory stored in your inventory and warehouse structure. Your accounts payable is the input, and your accounts receivable is the output. Okay, output in the sense whatever you want to collect from your clients, and input means what money you are investing to purchase and you pay it to your vendors. So these particular modules are tightly linked, and all the transactions go through journal ledger, okay, which is a financial part. Without journal and ledger entry or voucher posting, you cannot identify whether you are making a profit or whether making a loss. So all financial transactions are tracked in general ledger. Whereas production is one of the nervous system, you can say a kidney, which filters what material is required, and based on the available material it manufactures a FG product. So this is how you can relate your body and you can remember it easily, different modules which are tightly linked with production module and how it impacts and what dependent modules uh, have their, or they can take their inputs from production module. Let's go to our next slide. Configuration technologies. Once you have understood the industry, the business, now it's time to understand what type of configuration that particular industry might work with. Configuration technology is basically used for items which has different variants, like shirt. You can say an example of shirt. It has three different variants, four different variants like size, color, style. So these are some predefined variants which D365 support out of the box, and you can define all different variants, and based on those variants system will automatically generate variants and suggest you what needs to be done, okay, which product needs to be released. So these predefined variants which are there, these predefined variants fall under configuration technology predefined. Second is dimension based configuration technology. This is basically used in industry which is core manufacturing, and it has components which can be mixed and matched in the sense, you can see this particular example, that here you have this jelly balls, choco chips readily available, and at any given point of time you can pick that material, pick the top layer, bottom layer, cream in between, and you can make this particular item ready. So in this type of industries, configure dimension based configuration technology can be used. Constraint based configuration technology. This type of product configuration is specifically meant for industries where your client configures on the go based on the options. So if you see this particular example, assemble to order, okay, in this case you use a product configurator which helps users to select different options, and using this particular configuration technology you can also restrict what combinations a user can select. So this has a control over ordering process, okay, like let's just take an example that if a person selects violet color uh, frame, okay, so in that combination user will be only allowed to select orange color seat or black color seat. Brown and yellow color options will not be allowed. So this is one of the constraints, a simple example of an constraint. So these constraints you can configure in constraint based configuration technology. So once you define which type of variant item you want to create, and only if a product has its variant, then only this configuration technologies will be used and will come into the picture. Okay, I'm not going in depth about this configuration technology, but this is really very important in manufacturing, because all the three configuration technology plays a vital role in deciding the cost of the product. Okay, let's go to our next topic, master planning key components. So as you have seen that master planning is the brain of what ERP system. Okay, and master planning defines which orders, what need to be done, which material need to be procured, which item need to be procured, which item need to be produced. So all that different calculations system does is in its brain, that is master planning, and suggest you some planned orders. But it depends on various components to suggest and finalize on the data. System might give you incorrect, master plan can give you incorrect results also, or it may guide you, it may misguide you if your setups or key components are not correct. Let's say your calendar. So just take a calendar. If you define a calendar for 8 hours working a day, so if an item is produced in 8 hours, so in a week you can produce only 7 items. Okay, but by mistake, instead of 8 hour system calendar is defined for 16 hours. So what system will suggest? You can manufacture 14 items in a week, which is incorrect. So master planning depends on its key components, that is key setups. One is calendar, item coverage, default order setting, coverage group, product life cycle, master plan, forecast model, inventory status. So these are few of the important key components. If these setups are incorrect, or you are not confident, or you are very much confident about this, based on this setups only you will get the results of planned orders. All right, so master plan only suggests three types of orders. One is planned purchase orders, planned production orders, and kanban orders, which is for lean manufacturing. Okay, let's go to our next slide, master planning setups. So you can see these are the basic setups which you need to do. So based on the setups, few setups are prerequisites, few setups are mandatory, and few setups are optional. So you can see these three, scheduling, coverage, forecast, are optional setups, whereas journal names, item coverage, coverage group, master plan, static and dynamic, forecast plan, master planning parameters, these are mandatory ones. Without this you cannot carry out the master planning flow. Whereas these are some prerequisites, because some are master data, some are production setup, some are organization level setup, some are release product level setup. So the master plan also depends on these prerequisite setups. So this is the bifurcation of master planning setups. Planning optimization, very good topic. So if you, as you have seen, master planning, all properties, all functions of master planning are available in planning optimization. Then why we should use uh, planning optimization? Because it is same as master planning. No, it is not same. Master planning engine is an inbuilt part of your D365 finance and operation environment. So it runs on the same server, and it defines a load on the particular server. Okay, so that is the reason what happens is industries, when they run the master planning, they will run overnight when the actual transactions are not carried out. Whereas if you switch from master plan to planning optimization is an add-in which is installed on your LCS. Okay, and it removes all the load from your server, and the time it takes is 100th time of what time is taken by your master planning engine. So if you see the engine, so this is a normal old engine. This is a bullet train. So whatever work it does in 8 hours, it will execute in 1 hour. So this is not the exact figures. This is just a illustration which I want to explain you how fast planning optimization works. Okay, thank you. Let's go to our next topic, planning optimization capabilities. So you can, when you are switching from master planning to master planning optimization, you can use fit analysis. You can also use the feature of auto firming of the plant orders, trade agreement lead times you can define, safety margins with lead times or buffer times can be defined, plan filter. So this is something new which has come in planning optimization, and based on this filter, whatever specific item or specific group of items you want to run in the master plan, that can be achieved, because the intersection of the two whatever items are there, system creates order only for those. So this is something new which is only achievable in planning optimization through different types of plan filters. Okay, so we'll not go in depth in this particular topic. Scheduling. So scheduling is a core part of production, that is manufacturing. And D365 support two types of scheduling. One is operation scheduling and the second is job scheduling. So every industry has its own different requirements based on the manufacturing principle, manufacturing methodologies. They can use different scheduling techniques. If you check out scheduling, operation scheduling. So operation scheduling is mostly used in manufacturing principles like engineer to order, because they don't want minute details, because their projects are huge. It will take months, years, or decades also. Okay, like shipbuilding, uh, aeroplane building, or something like that, train building. So these type of products which are there, which takes a long lead time, those are not bothered of every hour productivity. They are only concerned with timelines in days, months, weeks, or years. So in that case, you can define operation scheduling, which will give you a rough timeline and long-term plan. Whereas job scheduling is mostly used in manufacturing principles like make to stock, make to order, where your timing is really very important. Why? Because every minute counts. If a person has ordered you today, your your clock starts clicking from that particular minute till the time you deliver that particular product. Based on the time you deliver, your product's capability, your product's availability will be judged and will be remembered in future. So for these type of products, we use job scheduling. And what job scheduling does is it breaks down the individual job on the Gantt chart and it assigns resources based on the requirement. And it does a very minute level planning, that is every minute, every hour, every day, every operation. So you can see two examples. That first example, the same item, same days, okay, but here it will start, this particular operation production order will start on this date and it will end on this particular date. Whereas in job scheduling, it will start on 4th hour of 21st March and it will end on 4.5 hours on 23rd March. So it gives you exact figures of hour, date, day, everything. Okay. So this is how you will see the Gantt chart when you opt for operation scheduling or job scheduling. Now it's time to understand the difference between manufacturing versus process manufacturing. So discrete and process manufacturing. This is a really complex part, but in D365 how it works we will see. All discrete manufacturing products can be broken down and disposed and recycled, whereas process manufacturing cannot be broken down into constituent parts at the end of the product life cycle. So you'll see garages which disassembles the parts and they do the recycling of that particular part. Okay, something like that. That will go in discrete. But if you see the product like shampoo, you cannot dismantle. By the time, by the end of its life cycle, it is already consumed, and no one knows how, when, what happened with that particular product. In discrete, you will use bill of material. Okay, in process, you'll use formula. In discrete, assembly driven by routing. A series of step of assemblies are carried out. So those are routing which is done. Whereas in process manufacturing, batch orders are created. Okay, and how ingredients are combined. These particular processes are defined in the route. Here, production orders are created in discrete. In process, batch orders are created and you will see units like liter, kg as the output, whereas here you will see uh, the standard scale units like each pieces or something like that. Raw material consumption is linear, so whatever quantity is written in the bill of material, in the multiples of production order, item or material will be consumed. Whereas in process manufacturing, you will have different strategies to consume material like step consumption, percentage based, ingredient type, scalability planning items. Yeah. So all are different strategies how your material can be consumed in the production. Only one FG product can be produced when you are using discrete manufacturing. No parallel products are produced by the end of the production order ending. Whereas in process manufacturing, apart from FG, you can also produce co-products, byproducts, and FG items, different FG items. Okay. You will see a simple example, car, cycle, watches, mobile phones. These are simple examples of discrete manufacturing. Whereas in process manufacturing, you can see items like cheese, tablet, paints. This tablet is the medicines I'm talking about here. Jam, Tetra packs, etc., etc. All right. I hope you understood the difference between discrete manufacturing and process manufacturing and how it links to dynamic 365 finance and operation. Let's go to our next slide and understand our production module core setups. So in order that your production flow must work effectively, you must configure all the setups in a sequence and interlink it with each other so that your production module gives you an really effective outcome. So production groups, production pools, production parameters, categories, costing version, calculation group, journal names, route groups, working time template, operations, resource and resource group, bill of material, formula based on the industry you're selecting, master planning, scheduling setups, release product default order setting, manufacturing decision steps. So if you configure all these setups in a sequence, then you can start with your production order creation and execution of that particular production order. So most of the consultant ask this particular question: how to start, where to start, which setup shall I focus first? So this is one of the sequence which I follow when I do the requirement gathering and when I actually implement it or configure it. Okay. Let's go to our next slide. Lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is nothing but minimizing waste, okay, and improving the productivity. Emphasizes on how to uh, capture value-added activities and bring that together in order to make the final FG. So this is just a representation of a Japanese in manufacturing industry, how they used to maintain the Kanban. So Kanban is nothing but visible records in Japanese. So what they used to do is they used to make each and every process, each and every step of each and every product or production order. What has happened? They want to see that particular record. So this particular person is maintaining it on this particular rack, that this particular order status is this. So every line is one status. Okay. So you can say that this is a created, this is released, this is estimated, this is material started, or something, blah, 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 blah. So all that stuff, all that particular setups, which we are now available in D365 Finance and Operation, were manually done by Japanese as a part of Kanban, visible record. So key components of lean manufacturing is you need to do some parameter setups, production groups, lean schedule groups, value stream, production flows, activities, validation. So all these particular setups will help you in processing or in creation of orders. It does not impact on your output. Your output remains same, either as a part of production order, either a part of purchasing. It basically improves your warehousing skills, which is when that particular material must be shifted, when that particular item is required, when that particular order is required. So this mostly focuses on your warehousing part. So in that case, in order to improve your uh, shop floor efficiency, you can go with lean manufacturing. So three main components, if I say, the one is production flow, second is activities, and third is Kanban rules. So if you configure all these three and integrate it effectively, your orders will get automatically created. There is no need of manual order creation or depending on master plan to create that particular fresh orders based on the requirements. It is just the triggers which help the supporting orders to get created and executed also. Kanban rules. So Kanban rules is nothing but how you manage your production flow. So if you see, there are three types of Kanban rules: fixed, schedule, event. So based on these particular events, your manufacturing orders will get created. So either it will create a production order or it will create a transfer order. So if you see correctly, Kanban, lean production always focuses on your shop floor activity. So both these orders are used on your shop floor. None of the purchase orders are suggested through Kanban. Thank you. I'll say goodbye for now. This is my first video on my YouTube channel. I would request everyone to please subscribe for this particular channel. Also do comment your views, your thoughts, and if you have any topic which you want to understand in depth, or if you have any particular scenario, please do share us on the comment section. Thank you everyone.